So Mitt Romney's group approaches Ron Paul and says, "Hey, Ronnie boy, we're going to let you speak at the RNC after all. If you just agree to these two terms. First, you let us edit your speech, and second, you agree to fully endorse Mitt Romney for President of the United States." Now, Ron Paul, being one of, if not the most principled man in Washington, refused to do that. But it made me wonder what a Ron Paul speech at the RNC would have sounded like had he agreed to those terms.
Texas Congressman Ron Paul.
I usually talk about liberty, but I'm here today to talk about Romney. I'm here to formally endorse Mitt Romney for President of the United States. Now, some people will recall that Mitt and I had a few differences during the televised debates. Well, that's true, but it's time to put principles behind us and focus on putting a man who was born in the United States into the White House. Mitt has reached out to me and has added two of my favorite issues to his platform, and that's ending the Fed and returning to the gold standard. Well, he hasn't actually said he supports a return to the gold standard, but he now claims he'll be willing to look into it, and that's good enough for me. And he does not support ending the Fed, but he might support an audit of the Fed. Now, considering the fact that he previously opposed an audit of the Fed, this tells me a lot about Mitt Romney because he's a man who very rarely has ever changed his position on anything. Mitt has convinced me that I have just been flat out wrong on nearly all the other issues. I guess the mainstream media has been right all along. I'm crazy, I'm wacko, I'm a moron, I'm driving with three wheels on the road, the elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. I mean, I used to think bailouts were bad, all of them, but Mitt has convinced me otherwise. I'm still not sure which bailouts he supports. Mitt knows which big banks are most deserving of our taxpayer money, right? With Mitt, rest assured the financially and politically elite will receive no more special treatment than anyone else. I was opposed to the NDAA and the Patriot Act. Mitt has shown me the way. The only way we can be safe is for us to sacrifice a little, not much, just our privacy and our personal freedoms. Is that too much to ask for Mitt's sake? Let's open our bedrooms to Mitt's surveillance. Heck, think about it this way. Romney can't be more of a threat to our civil liberties than Obama. Now, Mitt has played it close to the vest when it comes to women's rights. We know he supports them. After all, he's married to a woman, which, according to Mitt, is the only acceptable form of marriage. Mitt's not waging a war on women. He wants to be able to send both men and women to fight and die in any war he's able to start. Oh, I know you're going to say, wait a minute, Dr. Paul, didn't you want to overhaul our foreign policy of aggression and bring the troops home? You're right, I did. What the hell was I thinking? Anyone who messes with Israel should be nuked. Anyone thinks about gaining nuclear technology should be nuked. No point in bringing troops home from Afghanistan. We're going to let Americans stay there until the Taliban is defeated, or until we run out of soldiers, or until we're flat broke. The last thing we want to do is admit we are already broke, because then we'd have to start decreasing military spending, and rest assured, that ain't going to happen under President Romney. Hell, we might even go back and see if Vietnam wants to make it 2 out of 3. Closing Guantanamo is for wimps. Thank goodness we convinced Obama to break yet another of his promises on that topic. Not only that, but let's expand our torture techniques and call it enhanced interrogation. Mitt says the first thing he will do as president is to repeal Obamacare, and as you know, I think that is a good move. The second thing he will do is offer up his own health care system, which is nearly identical. But it removes Obama's name from our health care system. Brilliant! Most people will think Romney has replaced it with something better. For years, I have spoken loudly and proudly about the Constitution, and I will continue to do so. Only I'll go along with Mitt and say, don't allow the Constitution to stand in the way of increasing executive branch power. Finally, let me wrap up by defending my son Rand for what many people have been calling a sellout. Hey, Rand simply figured out that Washington is no place for principles. You have to kiss some serious ass to get anywhere. I'm sorry it took me so long to understand that. Time to pucker up and sell my soul to Mitt Romney. Thank you, America. Vote for Mitt Romney and screw liberty.